Hey everybody, Strider's back with another high ELO casting game, and again this is the Pulsefire Ezreal patch. So, surprisingly enough, we don't have Pulsefire Ezreal in this game for the first time ever in this patch. But that's only because TheOddOne was streaming and he really wanted to play Pulsefire Ezreal, and so the Aerodactyl banned Ezreal. So there's a little bit of trolling going on in the high ELO games, but you know, it's all fun and trolls until someone trolls too hard, I suppose. So as far as the skin war goes, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 skins versus 1 or 2. I don't know if that's a grave skin. I can't tell. I don't remember what the default looks like anymore. I think that's a different one. So I think there's 2. So 2 to 4. So far, blue team has a massive advantage because everyone knows that those skins add 10 horsepower. So that's going to be great. Let's see what we can throw in here. Both teams are going for a passive beginning play. Neither team wants to really initiate, but the blue team has 4 AP champions. They have Vlad, Malphite, Swain, and Blitzcrank. So I guess Blitz doesn't count too much, but like all of his spells are magical, so he's gonna do a lot less damage. I would assume, because the red team is most likely gonna build quite a bit of magic resist. And this Malphite pick also forced red team to not do 3 bruisers, because if they were to do like a bruiser top and a bruiser jungler, then Malphite could have just ripped apart the team once he got a frozen heart and done his E. So it's they did a really good plan. Like Lee Sin, he doesn't really auto attack too much because he's typically just spamming spells and then jumping in and out of fights and kiting people around and stuff like that. So that's not too bad. I think it'll be really good for them. This Graves is the only thing I'm really worried about, because if Malphite ults onto the Graves and then throws his E, then it could be very dangerous for them. Malphite got a really strong leash at red, so he's almost at full health now, and only at a quarter mana. He is going to go straight. He's making a beeline for that blue. We're going to see how this turns out in the long run. Nothing too much going on between Swain and Anivia right now. It seems pretty much even. They got level 2 at the same exact time, so that was an interesting never move by the Swain. I think he's typing about it right now. Malphite's coming in top. He looks like he's going for the gank. They don't have too much CC, and Singed, I mean, he doesn't have his ult, so it's not too bad. Malphite's coming around from the back. He might be able to get it, but it looks like Singed is just going to run down. And Singed does get to fling the Malphite, and he is going to do a little bit of damage. He's able to slow him down. And they get an auto attack. Perfect. The ignite and everything goes down, and they were able to take down that Singed for the first blood. Now Lee Sin has double buffs, and he's coming in. He's going to go directly for that kill. Summoner heal goes down for Malphite, and it looks like Lee Sin is going to be able to take that kill, and then teleport comes down from Singed. Singed is going to fling him behind. And luckily Lee Sin did not come back into that fight yet. Vlad's flash is down, so he can't just go all in hardcore there. That was a great exchange, but again, Singed is already really close to dead, so this is really dangerous for him. I'm not sure how well he's going to be playing up against this now, as his teleport is also down, which is not good. As far as bottom goes, this Vayne versus Graves, I do expect Graves to be a little bit more of a bully than Vayne would be in lane. just because Graves tends to have a little bit. Oh, and a great grab coming out from Blitzcrank, getting the Sona. And Sona almost goes down just from the 3 shots, getting that Silver Bolt's proc from the Vayne. A lot of damage. Scaring off Graves, forcing him to quick draw away from that fight so he couldn't put on any pressure. That was a great move by Blitzcrank, and I think Blitzcrank might have actually been trying to go for the grab onto... Oh no. I'll go back and get that. But I think Blitzcrank was trying to go to the grab onto the Graves, but notice that Graves didn't charge in really like head first. He backed away, and it was too far, and so he had a really easy, perfect grab on the Sona. Okay, so we're going to see what happened in mid here. Never move coming out from Swain. Swain does get stunned and hit, and he's just going to get auto-attacked. Those Anivia auto-attacks are so strong. Great job by Anivia, able to just sit there and spam auto-attacks. We're going to see if we can catch up to real time again here. Sinch is running away, as Sinch does, putting down the poison, but I think he might actually take this tower shot. And yes, does go down. Unfortunately, Malphite does not get an assist or the kill. So it was a great play by the Sinch. And perfect grab with the Power Fist and the Condemn into the wall, but Vayne gets ignited and it does go down from the Sona. Support's getting the kills in this particular fight here, but that is okay because that means they're going to be able to get their gold per 10 items a little bit faster, as well as more wards and everything else. So great job bottom lane with exchanging the kills. It seems really, really even. I mean, the bottom CS is 32 to 28, so it's only 4 CS difference right now, which is not a big deal. And they did spot the Lee Sin going top, so it wasn't able to do anything. It did kind of back him off a little bit, but he runs into Malphite into the jungle, and he does safeguard to that ward that they have in mid. But now the blue team knows that red team has a ward in that bush, and they're able to ping that and signal it. So Malphite probably won't be ganking from that area anywhere or anytime soon. Red team has wards all over the place, though. They're able to... Yeah, they have wards all over the place. They have all throughout the blue team's jungle, as well as just in the river. So they have all entrances. Yeah, they have every single entrance into river warded. So there's no element of surprise whatsoever that this Malphite can do to the red team. And I think that's a really good play on the red team's part, just by making sure that there's nothing they can do, because they do recognize the ganking potential of a level 6 Malphite. And Sinch just kind of ulting right here, doing absolutely nothing. This is what happens when the replay function bugs out. It's kind of cool because nothing ever goes down and everything just kind of sits around. There we go. Going back, we're almost alive now. Again, bottom's just kind of exchanging a little bit. They are signaling for Swain to take blue buff, which would be really good for him because it's going to be really difficult to outpush an Anivia once Anivia gets blue buff. But being able to last hit at the tower with his ult is going to be good enough. So Vayne getting a great condemn, but the crescendo coming down, and Vayne gets a tumble on the ult, but does still go down from the burst from Graves, Sona, and Lee Sin. It's a great job by them. I think they're probably going to be going for Dragon pretty soon here, or they might be pushing back mid. We'll kind of see what happens here. Yeah, it looks like they're going for pushing back mid. Blitz is just kind of staying bot, getting as much CS as it can. Blue team looks like they're trying to converge onto this Anivia, but it doesn't look like anything's really going to happen. And the fling going off from Sinch again. Sinch is doing an insane amount of damage right now. They can't do anything about him. Vlad is just sitting here. He's does have to use his summoner heal, is able to chase him off. He uses his pool, and he's going to get flung out of the way, but no, he still goes down. Great play by Vlad, but I don't think he's going to be able to get away from this. That was a great juke. Great juke by Vlad. He does ghost, and he might be able to get out of here. He does run into the Swain. Perfect. And he goes down anyway. Swain does not tank that spell at all. Vlad does go down, but Malphite is able to pick it up with the ult and the never move from Swain. And Anivia is just sitting here in this bush trying to get the jump on him, but Swain is not falling for his tricks. Well, it was a really nice thought for Swain to, go out of his way to help a fellow teammate, but unfortunately it did not work as intended. Better luck next time. Blitz is incredibly low on bottom. He can get bursted down by a combination of these champions, but he doesn't have his mana barrier up, I don't think. Yeah, okay, now he has... No. I think... Is there a debuff for mana barrier? I don't remember anymore. Auto attacks coming out from Vlad. You never know what's coming. So great ult coming down, and the condemn from Vayne, able to pick up the kills, and they're still going on to the Graves, but Graves is going to back off because he does not trust anything else. The teleport coming down from Singe. Singe does ult, throw down the pool, and is going to fling. No, he wasn't able to fling. And Blitz does as much damage as he can. Okay, see, there's a debuff for the mana barrier recharging. Never move coming out, getting both of them, and now he's just gonna go into his Raven form and just get the easy double kill for their team. Oh my gosh, that was a fantastic play by the blue team. They read the teleport, they knew it was coming. Great pings coming down from Vlad. Blitzcrank was able to hold him off enough, and Vayne flashed at a perfect time before the fling went off. And that, it couldn't have gotten any better for the blue team. Unfortunately for the red team, that the fling didn't actually go off. It looks like it was an auto attack instead of a fling, which is pretty unfortunate to say the least, but I think if that fling would have went off, they might have been able to get that. And blue team does pick up the very first tower of the game as well. So that top tower is the first one to go down, and it looks like Vlad's going to continue to push, but Anivia might be going top, but she's probably going to go for the blue buff first, and Vlad might know this. No, he looks like he's just going to go for the golems and back off a little bit. Malphite sees the Anivia here, and they are going to converge onto her. I thought for sure that he was going to ult onto the Anivia, and then they were going to get a never move after that, but they do know that she has her egg. So Anivia has her egg, and it's going to be very difficult for them to be able to get that, and that forced Lee Sin to take that blue because she was getting trapped. Which is not good for Anivia because you really want Anivia to have blue buff at all times. And Singe does go really low from the ult, and the pool coming down at the perfect timing, and he still gets destroyed. The animation of his Q does not quite go down all the way before Singe gets in the second bush. And oh my gosh, Blitzcrank is so close to dead right now. I don't know what he's doing. So red team did see him put down that ward. They're gonna know he's still hanging out and he's still really low, and I'm gonna go back to see that. So Lee Sin's coming out, and he didn't know that Swain was there, and he has to back off because the never move forced him in that direction. They do have a ward in that bush, so there's absolutely nothing they can do, and then Malphite goes in there as well. Let's see if we can get back up to live here really quick. So far, it's been a great display of performance on both teams' parts. Red team seems to have a little bit of an unfortunate events, a stream of unfortunate events, but they can still pick it back up. I mean, Anivia is no champion to be taken lightly. As you can see, she already has 110 creep kills. And it's 14 minutes in the game. I definitely see her getting that Rod of Ages here pretty soon, about the 15 or 16 minute mark, once she also has her boots. So Anivia can begin the snowball for this lane, as well as Singed. Singed can do a lot of help for it as well. So we'll see how it all goes. Great grab coming down, and the Condemn coming down from Blitzcrank as well. The Ignite goes down onto her, and they are able to pick her up. And that was a great tumble, but still going to go down, and the Power Fist is not enough. They do have the ward in that bush, so they were able to get it that way. And Lee Sin's coming around from the back, does safeguard to a minion. He is going to go for the grab. And I don't think, yeah. So after Overdrive is done, after the speed up part of Overdrive is done, you're actually slowed for a little bit. And that's the only thing that made Blitzcrank not get that grab, is the last part of Overdrive. So unfortunate, but you know, that's part of the ability, and it sucks. But you know, he'll get it back eventually. And Singed is what we call Singed farming. He's just behind the tower, just hanging out. Is going to do a little bit of damage to the blue buff. Might actually try to pick it up. They know he's there though, so they're going to try to converge on him a little bit. But Lee Sin is also there, safeguards, and goes into Raven form. He's going to get flung. The Never Move comes out. He's still in the middle of all of them, and the stun comes out from Anivia, and he's going to have to flash over that wall. Great dodge, and Lee Sin is going to go down really low, and the Crescendo comes out as well, and the Vlad is taking down the Anivia as low as he possibly can. And it doesn't look like Anivia is going to live with like 10 health. And they're going to chase off this Malphite at this point. And the safeguard coming out on Anivia, and doesn't look like Malphite's going to be able to pick that up either. And the crab goes out, just barely misses them. Great job by the red team being able to kite away and bait those low HP players, as well as protect them at the same time. So once Anivia got low, it was just Anivia's poking her head in and out of the fight, throwing out the Flash Frost and throwing down her ult, throwing out a wall, doing what she can to help the team, but not putting herself in harm's way. And then once she did get engaged on, the safeguard from Lee Sin came out, and you know, the fling from Singed, so, and a heal from Sona. They played that perfectly. They played that like a true arranged fives team, and not just a random pub team. It was a great job by the red team, and that just brought them back in the game. And they are behind. Sorry about that. They are behind 1 kill, but they are up about 700-800 gold. Let's see what we can do to catch up to live here. Anivia might finally get her blue buff for once in the game, and that's gonna continue their momentum that they already have if Anivia ends up getting that. And Malphite gets hit on by Lee Sin, and then gets kicked out of the fight. Anivia does get that blue buff. Great job by them to be able to pick up that blue buff. Let's check out the gold score right now. What we have here is #1 gold carrier on the red team is going to be Graves. So Graves and Lee Sin are neck and neck for #1 on their team. And it's really close actually, but that's mainly because, Power Fist coming out from Blitzcrank, and he is going to go for the grab, but he does miss the grab, and the fling comes up from Singed, not going to be able to do anything. So everybody successfully disengaged all those fights that just happened at the same time. But Graves and Lee Sin, despite their massive creep score difference, 140 to 87, despite that, the main thing that's giving them the kills is, or main thing that's giving Lee Sin the gold is the 3 extra kills and 1 extra assist. As far as the blue team goes, Power Fist coming down, And it's going to exhaust the Graves, and they don't want to fight this, so they're debating going in and out of the fight. And they are going for the Dragon now. So the red team realizes that the bottom blue team got relatively low and helped them. The crescendo coming out, and all of Graves' burst goes down. They do have a ward there, and one more auto attack does pick up the Vayne kill. And that is probably going to leave a free dragon buff for the red team. Malphite did have to use his unstoppable force to get out of that fight, which is unfortunate, but it happens. So the dragon is going to go down uncontested for the red team. There's a great pickup by them in order to be able to do that. But yeah, back to everything else. As far as the gold goes, the blue team, the number one person on the blue team is going to be Vladimir. Vlad has 3 kills and 147 creep kills. He's doing a great job. Yeah, he's just doing a great job for the whole team. And I think Sona's sound modification is bugged on Blitzcrank because it's just a constant noise. But anyway, and then second on the blue team is going to be Malphite. Malphite does have those 4 kills as well. So the junglers are doing so much work in this game. They have gotten pretty much the most kills on their team. Yeah, both of them have gotten the most kills on their team. They have pretty close to the highest amount of gold, and they're really low on the creep kills. So they've just been roaming around ganking, killing each other for the most part. So it's great. Red creeps are pushing really hard against that tower, but Vlad's going to be able to come in just in time to clean up the pieces. Anivia might have been AFK right now. I'm not exactly sure. It kind of looks like she is, but yeah, she's kind of sitting there auto-attacking. She was able to pick up 6 gold. Yeah, Anivia disconnected. Very unfortunate event. The red team was 1,000, 2,000 gold ahead, but with one of their strongest champions DCing, it's not going to be good, to say the least. At least she did pick up a Rod of Aegis, so she's going to still be picking up AP and mana over time, at the very least. I mean, I know it's not a lot, but you know, every minute she's going to get that extra little bit. And the crescendo coming down onto the Blitz. I'm actually going to go back to the beginning of this. So Blitz takes out that red ward, and Vayne condemns Graves, and Graves just does collateral damage, quick draws to him, ignites. And I don't think they're going to be able to take out this Blitzcrank, but oh, it's possible. Those crits are just going to work on him, and he does pop his mana barrier, and he is going to be able to do a little bit of damage. The last auto attack from Graves is going to be able to get it, and the Never Move doesn't quite hit her. She is going to flash over the wall, through the bush, break the line of sight. She's still going to go down from the Ravens, from his Raven form. He's doing a great job. He does get engaged on by the other team. The Never Move coming out, getting both of them, and they're still going to be able to get out of there. Unstoppable Force does go and hits the Graves, and he is going to get that last hit. He is. Doesn't look like he has red buff, which is unfortunate. Oh, he does have red buff. It's just hidden. Oh, great flash by the Malphite. Able to just follow it, and he is just going to wreck through those two. The 2 best people to kill on the team, and they did. But then again, Malphite is the one champion, or one of the champions that counters both of their carries. Both the people that have pretty much all the kills on their team, Malphite counters. Just with his innate armor and tank ability, gap closing, attack speed debuffs. It's insane. So Malphite's a great pick. If Malphite gets fed, then it's going to be really difficult for everybody as far as Graves and Lee Sin to continue to do work on their team. And as you can see, they're going to still be able to tower dive, but once it gets into the team fights, I think that they might come out on top. I really like the fact that Lee Sin can still jump over walls. I know it's something that's so basic, but the wall jumping champions are probably my favorite champions to play. I feel like it's not only, well, I guess a lot of it is that I put myself in really stupid situations, stupid positions, to where I should never be there, but with those wall jump champions, I'm able to get out of there. And I think that really adds to my element of surprise when I play. And so sometimes you see Lee Sins do just crazy things, so you don't see things going, you know, you don't see a sonic wave coming from over the wall and him flying at you and then dragon kicking you into the rest of his team and just like weird things like that. I really like the way champions like that plays, where you can just take people by surprise, basically assassins, I suppose. I think Lee Sin's passive should be changed to always being able to see invisible stuff because he's blind, and that would be very ironic. Maybe not ironic. I don't know what the term is. I think ironic. Ironic might work. But still, it would be completely broken. Don't get me wrong, but it's like whenever his ult is off cooldown, he can see invisible stuff. I don't know. So red team does take down blue team's bottom tower, and that was the second tower they got. Blue team still only has one tower down, and that's the top tower. Their mid tower is at half, and the bottom tower is really low. And they do have, red team has a ward in this bush, so they do know that all of blue team is in this river, and they're waiting for dragon. And Blitzcrank ran right past him. I'm not sure if he actually went in the bush or not, but he doesn't see it, and red team is on the verge of engaging, but I think they're going to let it slide because they don't want to risk it. With Blitz and Malphite there, that's a lot of CC to worry about. You know, the Vayne coming around from the back, it can be incredibly scary. Vayne hasn't gotten too fed this game. She does have 180 creep kills. She does have her Infinity Edge, so that's going to help significantly. But Graves has a Zeal up, plus a few other kills and a lot more CS. So far, Graves is doing better than the Vayne. As far as mid lane goes, it looks like, let's see, Swain is getting destroyed by Anivia. Anivia is a really good counter against Swain, because Swain needs to have that movement speed in order to be able to do it. In order to be able to be really aggressive, that is. And Anivia kites like a champion, and her burst is so high, as well as her sustained damage after the fact of her burst. So she is able to out CS him incredibly easily, as well as get some kills and no deaths. So she's able to get away from everything. She almost has her death cap already. That's going to be incredibly scary. I see that coming in the near future. Let's see how much gold she has. 1,004. She needs 100 more gold to pick up that death cap, and then that's going to be a completely different story. The Singed, pulling out the Force of Nature, which I think is a very, very good pickup on the Singe for this game, because of the fact that they have 4 AP magic dealing champions in their game. Vayne is still going to be the catalyst of the game, as she does an insane amount of true damage. If they can feed the Vayne more, then it's probably going to be game over for the red team, since their tank is building primarily magic resist, which he has to, or else he'll get blown up by the other 4 people. But Vayne can still kind of kite around Singed in a way. Not necessarily kite, but you can knock him back and you know, dive around him and, you know, do as much as he can. I think Vayne's pretty good against Singed. I'm not sure. Oh, great hook and power fist going on to the Graves, and then the unstoppable force coming out, and he is able to pick up that kill. And then red team is still in a lot of danger. The flash coming out from the Malphite. Oh, Vayne is going to probably go down next. Vayne is able to pick up the egg on to the Anivia, but Vayne is going to get flung back into the team. Oh, she is able to take down the Lee Sin by juking into that bush and then tumbling out and picking up that Lee Sin kill. Great move by Vayne. She knew she wasn't going to get away, so she just did what she could do, and that was better than what I thought she could have done. A great move, but the red team is at a huge advantage at this point. Just the momentum that they've been able to carry. They have a lot of... they've won the last 2 team fights. They have the buffs that they need on the champions that they need. Anivia's egg did go down, which is never a good thing, but it's better than Anivia dying. It's always... Yeah, Anivia did pick up her death cap, so... super scary. So now that the red team has pushed down all front of the 3 front towers, they're probably going to try to pick a person or 2 off and then go for a Baron fight. I don't think they'll just do a Baron fight or try to force a Baron fight, doing 5 vs 5, because I think it's still a little bit too risky. The gold difference isn't that huge. Even the kill count isn't even that much of a difference. But I think if they can pick up a quick kill, then it's very possible that they'll be able to do that. I don't have the most assassiny of people, but... So Blitzcrank Power Fist coming out, and Sinch does ult and tries to get away. The Randomwood's Omen comes out as well. And the Unstoppable Force goes down, and Sinch is not taking any damage because of that Force of Nature. And the only person that can do damage to him comes out, and she is able to destroy the Singe. Great play by the blue team. They did use quite a few ults, but it was probably worth it to take out that Singe. That Singe is getting extremely beefy. Does have that Rod of Aegis now, as well as the Heart of Gold. Golden Heart, yes. But the Force of Nature giving him the movement speed, the health regen, the magic resist. And that's a lot of magic resist. 76 magic resist. It's so much. And then the health regen, which is also insane. I'm pretty sure if Singed ever gets Baron buff, we'll see numbers counting up, like the lifesteal counters. Whenever you gain more than 26 HP in a second, it will show that number. But because Baron buff gives a lot of health regen, but with this Force of Nature, the fact that it's giving so much, if he gets Baron buff, it's definitely going to be like 25 or 26 health at least. At the very least, is that what it's going to be. So the Unstoppable Force coming out, and Soda's Crescendo comes down, and Vlad goes down almost immediately. And double kill coming out from the grave is able to take down the Swain as well, and Malphite is probably going to go down. Blitz is also going to go down, is able to do a Power Fist onto the Singe. Singe is able to slow him down and just give him a few punches, poison him a little bit, and take him out. Red team's just turning this around. And like I said, if they can get those picks, they're going to go straight for Baron. And that's exactly what they're doing. Singe still has a little bit of his ult left, so he's going to tank it as much as possible. And Anivia, one of the things I don't understand sometimes about people, when people go against Baron, there's a little green pool that comes up underneath you that will, this pool, that little bubbly acidy pool, it comes up below you. Now, if that comes up below you, all you have to do is sidestep it a little bit, and you can continue to attack normally. And it's not that difficult, but if you get popped in the air for a second and a half, that's a second and a half you're not auto-attacking for, instead of literally like a third of a second. It's not... I don't know, for some reason I see people, especially at high ELO, they just sit under that like they want to get knocked up, and I don't understand that. Especially when the team is knocking right at the door. Great disengage by the red team, they were able to get the reinforcements that they needed. But yeah, going back to my previous point, it's just a lot of the high ELO players, they don't... they either don't know you can avoid it, which I don't think is true, because they should know that, but or they don't see it, they're not paying attention, they're talking about the strat that they want to do, I'm not 100% sure on the reasoning that they allow themselves, because it does deal extra damage, and plus it CCs you for a second and a half. And that combination is not good, especially when you're taking down Baron and the team is catching up very, very quickly. You're going to be doing less damage, and then you're going to get more damage on you. The two things you don't want to happen in this game, and a lot of people just let it happen. So I'd like to see a little bit of improvement on that. And this isn't, I'm not just talking about solo queue games, this is like tournament level play that this happens. So it's a little interesting for me to see sometimes that people don't walk away from that when it's something. Oh, Blitz face checking that blue bush, and he does flash over the slow goo from the Singed because he doesn't want to get flung back into the team. It looks like they were going to disengage anyway, but still incredibly scary. Whenever a Baron buff Singed is running after you like crazy. So let's see what Singed's... 292 health regen per 5. So we're gonna cycle through some of the champions here so I can show you all their stats. So we got a little bit, nothing too much going on here. Vayne's got some nice armor pen going on right now. She has 13 armor pen with 10% life steal. Great oracles by the Blitzcrank. Blitzcrank being able to pick up that oracles is very, very powerful for them. We're gonna see everything. Let's see, magic resist 43, movement speed 388. Let's see who the fastest one in the game is right now. I think it's gonna be Blitzcrank. Or Anivia. Just kidding. Yeah, it looks like Blitzcrank is going to be the fastest champion. Oh, no! Singed. Of course, Singed would be the fastest champion. Singed is a little crazy sometimes. He does go incredibly fast, especially once he pops his ult. Swain actually getting a Deathfire Grasp. I don't think I've seen that yet. I was expecting him to get more of the Athene's Holy Grail, to be honest, so he can keep up his mana pool. Plus give him a little bit of magic resist for defenses against the Anivia, since the Anivia is quite farmed and fed. But he goes for a Chain Fest, so I'm not... he might be going for the Hourglass, which is what I would assume is the only thing that APs typically build out of a Chain Fest. Unless he gets an arc... or excuse me, I can't even think of it. A Guardian Angel, there we go. Unless he gets a Guardian Angel, which I don't think he would, but I suppose you never know. They did try to pop and engage on here, and they are able to pick up the Lee Sin. Lee Sin's going really, really low. He does get healed, but he still goes down. And the Swain is going down, and Anivia walls out the Vayne, so the Vayne's not able to do any damage. But he's going to just... Vayne is just going to rip down and try to take down the Singe now. And he does get slowed by the Rabadons. Or not Rabadons, Randuins, sorry. The Randydins. They're going to slow down the Sona, and Sona is going to go down. The grab going down from Blitzcrank, just trying to juke out his entire team. Wow, I did not see that coming. I did not expect the red team to get aced with 3 of them still alive at pretty much full health when they had Baron. Very unexpected, but very good job. Oh, it was a great fight. It was a great initiation. Sona got caught out, and then Lee Sin tried to protect the Sona, and it did not work in his favor, to say the least. Sona was able to flash out, so once he safeguarded and then she flashed out literally a half a second after that, it was she was left all by herself. It wasn't good. Lee Sin's gonna throw a little bit of damage there, but not do anything crazy, because he knows he would get CC'd right away. Graves coming in with the smoke grenade, and they pop Shurelius to try to get out of there, and the safeguard comes out. Unstoppable force coming out from, I don't know if that was 100% necessary, but then he would have gotten slowed down, and then possibly dragon kicked back into his team. So it was worth the use of the ult to ensure escaping from that fight. And red teams right now, they're just going to regroup. They're going to give Anivia that blue buff. They're going to push out the lanes a little bit just to make sure that nothing crazy happens if they end up losing the next fight as well. They want to make sure that the damage is mitigated as much as possible. Blue team was able to pick up that middle inhibitor, which is it's a great thing to push that middle inhibitor just because it's the shortest lane. So if they do win another fight, they could probably just win the game. Actually, they could just win the game, but since it's only the middle inhibitor, it's going to be very difficult for them to bait the red team into any other lane while they do Baron. But it doesn't seem like it's going to be the problem. Yeah, Baron's just going to go down really, really quickly. Blitzcrank is going to come out here a little. Yeah. He goes mega fast just so he can get that ward. It's always a good thing. He's had this Oracle for a while. Oh no, he did die that last fight, I think. Yeah, he died the last fight, but he bought another one. He seems to be okay. He does have he had 3 gold pretends. Now he only has 2, because he does have the Shurelias. But the boots mobility with that, he's so fast right now. He's going to be able to zone with extreme effectiveness, because he's just so insanely fast. Nobody's going to be able to run away from that. It's just not going to happen. So blue team's going to take this top tower now. They pushed mid as much as they needed to. And yeah, they were able to take out that tower without a problem. They might go to this tower as well, or they might swing around bottom to take out that tower. Singed is pushing as hard as he can, but Singed's auto attacks. Crescendo comes down, and the teleport comes down from the Singe onto that top tower. Even though it still goes down, he pops his Brandudins, and the Unstoppable Force coming down. Just action everywhere, all over the place. And unfortunately, the Ignite from Anivia does take down the Vlad. But blue team still comes out on top, is able to get the grab onto the Sona and the Power Fist. And Malphite is just starting to clean shop right now, and they are going to finish taking out that inhibitor. And this looks like it could be good game for the red team, but they do have a lot of defenses. Anivia is still one of the best champions on top, and they are... Oh my god, that was an amazing immune on that. Oh my gosh, that was crazy. Oh, so Faye's just doing work. She's able to cleanse it as well as do as much damage as possible. And that health regen is really helping her out. And she wasn't able to get out of the Anivia ult. And everybody's going to go in. And Anivia does pick up that kill as well. So scrambled eggs from the Power Fist. And the Unstoppable Force. So they are able to ace down the red team. Blue team is going to finish off the Nexus. That was a fantastic game. Really, really close. Look at the gold count. Look at the kill count. They're up 1 kill, and they were tied in gold. They're actually down 600 gold, which isn't a lot. Don't get me wrong, especially 43 minutes in the game. Here's a quick recap of the gold to make sure everybody sees what everybody's going on. So the winner, the greediest person in the game, was Singed, followed by, looks like Graves, and then it was Vayne. Yeah. So Singed, of course, being the greediest, always farming behind towers, pushing as much as he can. But yeah, overall, good game to the red team. Congratulations to the blue team. And see you guys tomorrow. Don't forget to like my videos, subscribe to my channel, comment, tell me what I need to work on so I can get into a company that I will be able to go to tournaments and cast for you guys. But yeah, if you guys have any questions, just let me know. Alright, bye.